What up you do? Welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to learn some interesting facts about the beautiful country Nepal.
1. The heads on Easter Island have bodies. The iconic stone heads protruding from the ground on Easter Island are familiar to most, but many don't realize what lies beneath the surface. In the tents, archaeologists studying the hundreds of stone statues on the Pacific Island excavated 2 of the figures, revealing full torsos, which measure as high as 33 feet. For more trivia to impress, here are 40 random obscure facts that will make everyone think you're a genius. 2. The moon has mooncakes. Just as Earth has earthquakes, the moon has, you guessed it, mooncakes. Less common and less intense than the shakes that happen here. Mooncakes are believed by U.S. Geological Survey USGS scientists to occur due to tidal stresses connected to the distance between the Earth and the moon. 3. Goosebumps are meant to ward off predators. Why do we get goosebumps? In this physiological reaction, small muscles attached to individual body hairs contract, which leads the hair to stand on end. We inherited this ability from our ancestors in part as a way for our then coat of body hair to capture air beneath it and in that way retain heat. But, as George A. Pubnick, a physiologist and professor of zoology at the University of Dauphin, Ontario, Canada, explained to Scientific American, it also caused our ancestors to appear bigger than they were, helping to ward off predators when they were frightened or on the defense. With modern humans having less body hair, goosebumps no longer cause us to look that much more intimidating. For more pieces of trivia to impress your friends, here are 50 facts so strange you won't believe they're true. 4. There's no such thing as pear cider. Wait, you're probably thinking, I had pear cider last week. Actually, cider is an alcoholic beverage made from fermented apples, and only apples. Alcoholic beverages can be made from pears, but that drink is known as perry. The drink was popular in England for centuries but fell out of favor during the second half of the 20th century. That turned around in the 1990s when the drink was rebranded as pear cider. 5. Pineapple works as a natural meat tenderizer. The fruit is packed with the enzyme bromelain, which breaks down protein chains, making it an ideal marinade for meats when you don't have a lot of time. But for the same reason, pineapple does not work for jams or jellies, since the enzyme breaks down gelatin as well. The bromelain is so strong that pineapple processors have to wear protective gloves, otherwise over time the enzyme eats away at the skin on their face and hands, leaving dry skin and small sores. If you need a pick-me-up, read through these 50 feel-good facts guaranteed to make you smile. 6. Humans are the only animals that blush. We are also believed to be the only animal that feels embarrassment, a complicated emotion requiring understanding others' opinions and other factors. Charles Darwin called blushing the most peculiar and most human of all expressions, while Mark Twain said, man is the only animal that blushes, or needs to. 7. The feeling of getting lost inside a mall is known as the groom transfer. We've all heard how casinos are designed to deliberately disorient visitors, causing them to lose track of time and where exactly they are. But did you know that there's a similar strategy behind the design of shopping malls as well? Officially known as the groom transfer, this phenomenon was named after Austrian architect Victor Gruen, who identified how an intentionally confusing layout could lead to consumers spending more time and money in a shopping venue, though he would later disavow the approach. If you want to question everything you know, check out 50 well-known facts that are actually just common myths. 8. The wood frog can hold its pee for up to 8 months. Talk about having to go. Wood frogs in Alaska have been known to hold their urine for up to 8 months, sticking it out through the region's long winters before relieving themselves once temperatures increase. The urine actually helps keep the animal alive while it hibernates, with special microbes in their gut that recycle the urea, urine's main waste, into nitrogen. 9. The hottest spot on the planet is in Libya. Specifically, the hottest spot ever recorded on Earth is El Azizia in Libya, where a temperature of 136 degrees Fahrenheit was recorded on Sept. 13, 1922. While hotter spots have likely occurred in other parts of the planet at other times, this is the most scorching temperature ever formally recorded by a weather station. For more info that will wrinkle your brain, here are 50 absurd facts that will make you question everything. 10. You lose up to 30% of your taste buds during flight. This might explain why airplane food gets such a bad reputation. The elevation in an airplane can have a detrimental effect on our ability to taste things. According to a 2010 study conducted by Germany's Fraunhofer Institute for Building Physics, the dryness experienced at a high elevation as well as low pressure reduces the sensitivity of a person's taste buds to sweet and salty foods by about 30%. At that dry cabin air affects our ability to smell, and our ability to taste is reduced further. 11. Your nostrils work one at a time. When we breathe in and out of our nose during the day, one nostril does most of the work at a time, with the duties switching every several hours. This nasal cycle is dictated by the same autonomic nervous system that regulates heart rate, digestion, and other unconscious bodily functions, and is the reason why when our nose gets stuffed up it does so one nostril at a time. And for more trivia to keep you sharp, sign up for our daily newsletter. 12. Only two mammals like spicy food. Humans and the tree shrew. While humans have long had the rare distinction of being the only mammal that actually enjoys spicy food, that list has seen a new addition, as a study by Chinese researchers found that tree shrews have a mutation in their ion channel receptor, TRPV1, which makes it less sensitive to the hot chemical in chili peppers. As a result, the adorable critters happily gobbled up corn pellets laced with capsaicin, the compounds that give peppers their spice, while other mammals in the study avoided them. 13. A chef's top contains 100 folds. Most diners are too busy looking at their food to look all that closely at what the preparer is wearing, but the top, the traditional hat worn by chefs, actually contains exactly 100 folds. This is not just a nice, round number. It is said that these folds represent the number of ways to cook an egg, though an investigation by Bon Appetit failed to track down where that saying originated. Need more distractions? Here are 35 fascinating fast facts for when you're bored. 14. Rabbits can't poop. Unlike cats or other animals that can cough up hairballs when they digest stomach fur and other indigestible materials, rabbits are incapable of spewing. Their digestive system only goes one way, so the furry critters swallow plenty of rubbish, which keeps things moving in the right direction. 15. The M's in M&MS stand for Mars and Murray. That would be Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray, the two businessmen who created the candy-coated chocolates. The two actually had a very contentious relationship, as Mars leveraged Murray out of his 20% share in the company in 1949, years before M&MS would become the best-selling candy in the US, paying him just $1 million for a share of business that would quickly be worth billions. 16. The human body literally glows. It might be hard to see with your naked eye, but everyone you pass by every day is literally glowing. The human body emits a small quantity of visible light. Visible in the technical sense, the illumination is about 1,000 times less intense than levels of light that we would actually be able to see. Researchers in Japan used a special camera to track this glow and found that it fluctuates throughout the day, with the body emitting its lowest levels of light around 10 a.m. and highest at around 4 p.m. a rhythm the scientists attribute to the changes in one's metabolism. 17. Copper doorknobs are self-disinfecting. Copper and its alloys, such as brass, have long been popular materials for manufacturing doorknobs. It turns out, this may not just because the metal's hue makes it look nice. In fact, the material has been found to kill bacteria. According to one study from the National College of Kathmandu in Nepal, the metal ions denature protein of the target cells by binding to reactive groups, resulting in their precipitation and inactivation. The high affinity of cellular proteins for the metallic ions results in the death of the cells due to cumulative effects of the ion within the cells. In other words, brass sterilizes the bacteria that can build up from all those potentially unwashed hands that grip it. 18. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. It is not known whether William Morrison had an ulterior motive for inventing the soft confection, but the dentist no doubt helped ensure others in his profession continued drawing in plenty of customers. In 1897, he partnered with candy maker John C. Wharton to develop the cotton candy machine, which at the time was known as fairy floss, and it's been bringing kids cavities ever since. 19. Marie Curie is the only person to earn a Nobel Prize in 2 different sciences. The pioneering researcher won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, shared with her husband, for her study of spontaneous radiation, and then won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for her work in radioactivity. That makes her one of just 6 recipients to receive multiple Nobel Prizes, and the only person to receive it in 2 different sciences. Chemical engineer Linus Paulding earned the Nobel Chemistry Prize and Nobel Peace Prize, but all other multiple winners received theirs in the same category. 20. Fingernails don't grow after you die. Despite what you may have seen on other lists of random trivia, your fingernails and hair do not, in fact, continue to grow after you die. To grow, these must have a steady supply of glucose, which is cut off after the heart stops beating, preventing any further growth. In fact, the skin around the hair follicles and nails dehydrates after death and partly retracts, which can make them appear longer. 21. The English word with the most definitions is set. According to Guinness World Records, set has the largest number of meanings of any word in the English language, with 430 different senses listed in the 1989 edition of 2nd edition of the Oxford English Dictionary. The word sets the record with an entry running 60,000 words, or 326,000 characters, and no other English word has come close since. 22. Creedence Clearwater Revival has the most No. 2 Billboard hits without ever hitting No. 1. John Fogerty's swamp rock band has the odd distinction of having seen more of its singles hit No. 2 on the charts, without ever hitting No. 1, than any other musical act. Between March 1969 and October 1970, the band scored 5 No. 2 singles on the Billboard Top 100: Proud Mary, Bad Moon Rising, Green River, Travelin', Band, and Lookin' Out My Back Door, but never saw one of its songs get to the top spot. No other act has topped this dubious honor since. 23. Pigeons can't tell the difference between a painting by Monet and Picasso. In a 1995 study published in the Journal of Experimental Analysis of Behavior, researchers reported being able to train pigeons to discriminate between paintings by Claude Monet and Pablo Picasso when shown slides of their works that they had previously never seen before. When the Picasso images were inverted, the little art connoisseurs could still tell it was a Picasso. Maybe that's why they like landing on statues so much. 24. The dot over the lowercase I, or J, is known as a tittle. That tiny dot above lowercase I and J letters has an actual name, tittle. It is thought that the phrase to a T is actually derived from the phrase to a tittle, a phrase that was used in the same sense dating back to the early 17th century. The first recording of the phrase is in the 1607 play Woman Hater by Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher, in which the line reads, "I'll quote him to a tittle." 25. Chewing gum boosts concentration. Next time you are having trouble focusing, you might want to reach for a stick of gum. A 2013 study in the British Journal of Psychology found that those subjects who chewed gum while taking part in a memory challenge were able to stay focused for longer periods of time than those who did not chew gum.